Good morning, my name's Fiona. This is a project for Couture Creations for the Earthly Delights collection. This is Elio Moon Arts and we're going to make one of these today. I am going to change this one slightly. So this was a project that I got the inspiration from Septeria 18, I think it's called. So we've got a little booklet that we've got a place for a couple of tags in the back here. We've got a little tuck spot, so I made a little notebook to go on the back as well. So it gives you a little bit of room to draw. So this is great. This could be great for adding to a junk journal or a journal. It could also be used as just to give somebody some snail mail and something a little bit pretty. I just made some little dangles to go onto the tags, and I made this one quite some time ago. I've just used a little bit of satin ribbon. Just got some little bits of ephemera in this back pocket here, in this top pocket. Let me have a look. I can't remember whether I'd done, so this one here, no, there's a little pocket in behind the back here as well, which I haven't put anything in yet. And we've also got this little pocket, and I've just added a little bit of Velcro to mine. And then I made this little flower to go onto it. But I think we're going to make it a little bit more like these ones that I've been playing around with. So this one, whilst we have added these pieces in as well, I'm going to have it open up, and I'm thinking I'm going to grab some scrap papers and pop in here and have it like a little booklet. Or you could also add a sentiment to it and make it into something like a card, and you can add some little gifts of some sort in there for whoever you'd like to give it to. So this is quite a versatile piece of ephemera to be able to use regardless of which way you would like to use it. And that's just another little bit of lace that I had, and I just tied that on there. And like I said, you can decorate these as much as you like. I did make a bit of a mistake on this one. I actually put this, it was the first one that I made like this, and I didn't put this up far enough, but the glue had already taken, so I couldn't move it any further. Yeah, this one was good. I probably had another, oh yep, here it is. And here is another one. This is, the thing that I like about this is you can use up, it helps me to use up my 6x6 pads. Well, in this case, these are 6.5 by 6.5, and I'm just going to cut down a couple of pieces. But you could also make it out of scraps. I mean, these were some leftover scraps that I had. And yeah, so I created this one as well in a similar vein as the others. I just haven't decorated these ones. So I've got all my bits written out here. So I'm going to use 2 pages out of this Earthly Delights collection, and it's their 6.5 by 6.5 acid-free and lignin-free, I think it is. L-I-G, lignin, yeah, N-I-N free. So we're going to use this one today. I've already cut my 2 pieces, so I have chosen this one here with the pampas grass, which has a pretty design on the front. And I'm also choosing this one. This will be one of our covers. I'm just not sure which way we'll go. Maybe, no, because that'll get covered up. Fell that way, so it might be this way for our cover. And that would work okay as well. Okay, so let's get to it. So for our base, we are going to need our scoreboard. You will need to trim your papers down to 6x6 by 6x6 square. And we're going to need some glue, scoring board, a tool to score with, because everybody has something different. I'm using Couture Creations All-Purpose Art Glue. For this project. You would also require a, where's my one? There it is. Oops, sorry about that. You'll also need a little hole punch, which we'll use as well. So a couple of other things with these too. If you were to make a few of these and punch your holes all in the one, like have them all sitting together, yeah, I mean, maybe take your ribbon out, and then maybe you could use ribbon to put them all together. You could actually have a small series of them and make it into a little journal as well. just another thought. So I've cut mine to 6 by 6. I'm going to put it in my scoring board. I'm going to score at 3, which should be in half, and we're going to fold that one in half, like so. Am I in frame? Yes. And I'm just going to do that like that. Okay, so now that we've got this folded in half, I'm going to have our open side to this. Yep, that'll be fine. So I'm going to have our open side facing outwards, and I'm going to have our folded line up against the edge of our scoreboard. And I'm going to score it at 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to grab here and score down 1/2 inch. And you want to make that a fairly good score. So I've just scored 1/2 inch, and I'm just going to fold that one way and then fold it the other. And that's all we need for our base, apart from the fact we're going to glue. So where we've scored, this score line piece here, we're just going to glue those together. Okay, just fold that down together. I'm just going to use my foam folder just to push that along a little bit, put my glue back on. Okay, yep, that's looking good. So we're just going to set this piece aside for the moment. We're going to work on our long pocket, which is this one here. So we are going to take one of our pieces of cardstock, another 6 by 6 piece, and we're going to cut it in half. So we will then have 2 pieces of 6 by 6. Oh, sorry, 2 pieces at 3 by 6. So I'm just going to line that up with our, chop them in half. Now we've got 2 pieces. Don't think I really need that one anymore. Okay, so our first piece, I've got to decide on which side I like better. Do I want the pampas grass showing, or do I want this floral showing? So that's a choice you have to make. Just going to bring this back over here. I'm just going to have a bit of a look. Do I like that, or do I like that? Let's have a look at this one. This one looks a bit... You're not going to see much, so I think I'm going to go for this pocket. I'm going to go with this side, So this one can be a little bit tricky. So I know we're going to score. So if I'm going to have this side, so I want this outer side being the wider one. So this side's the narrow one. So on this, so I'm going to put my piece into my scoreboard, and we're going to score at 1/4 inch. Flip it all the way around till you get to the other side, and we're going to score at 3/8 of an inch, which is there. Okay, and then we're also going to score at 1 1/4 inches. So right there. Hope I've got that the right way when I did that. Let's have a look. So no, I didn't. So I actually should have scored this on the other end. This is just something you're going to have to be a little bit aware of. I've done it a few times and made the mistake. So we want our score that was done at 3/8 of an inch to be the piece that's going to either go totally around the edge of your card, and then you'll have this bottom piece that'll flip up and create a pocket in the back. But I've done it the wrong way around, so but it's okay. You can still work with it the way that it is. Just means to say that I'm only going to have my shorter side folding in to hold it in place. So we've got that piece. So this should have actually been, that 1 1/4 should have been on the other end, and then we would have been right. But it's not. But we'll work with this. So I'm going to trim out. I'm just going to fold these score lines down. Fold that one up. And I'm wanting to trim out this rectangle here. Just bring that, if I can bring that down a little closer for you. So I'm wanting to cut out this triangle here, and I'm wanting to miter it across there. So I'm just going to cut up there, up to the line, and just across. Same with this side. I'm going to cut that one totally out, up to the line, and then I'm just going to do a cross. Okay, so I just want to make sure these folds are really well burnished down. So I'm just going to fold these ones over and burnish them down a bit better. Okay. So I'm also going to take a hole punch, or a bigger hole punch. This one is a 1.5, so 1.5 inch punch, and I'm just going to cut out a little notch in the top there. My one that I'm going to create today, I'm going to leave it open, and I'm going to have a little tuck spot in here rather than having the tuck spot on the back of here, because I'd like to be able to put these into some of my journals, whether or not I put them in with just a paper clip, or whether I glue them in and make a tuck spot on the side. There's lots of things you can do. So to start off with, I'm going to add some glue on it. Well, for me, it's going to be that 1/4 inch side. It should have actually been that 3/8. Is that what it was? 3/8? Yeah, 3/8 of an inch side. But because I've got mine turned around the wrong way, I'm going to have to go this way. So I'm going to put some glue in on that one. I'm just going to take I'm just going to open mine up because I want mine to go on the inside. Going to lay it on the front. Just going to line the inside of my card up, my base piece of card up with this one here, and I'm just going to flip that over and push it down. Until that sticks really well. Now with this piece here, we'll do that in a minute. So now all I've got to do, I've got to put glue on this outside edge. So for you, that should be your 1/4 inch piece. For me, it's my 3/8 of an inch piece because I ballsed it up. But that's okay. Okay, so I'm just going to pop some glue on there. I'm going to fold that over, and I'm going to press that one down on this side. Okay. Okay, so that's nicely adhered. And then with this one, now you can round these corners, which I think I might. Just close that up. 1, 2. I'm just going to round those ones. And all I'm going to do, I'm just going to shake this down a bit, is going to put a little bit of glue on either side, or you can actually just glue one side if that's what you would prefer and have it more as a tuck. It might be, actually that's what I might do. It might be a little bit easier to get things in and out of it that way. So I'm just going to put a bit of glue on this side. By all means, you can use double-sided tape as well for this project. Nicely adhered now. So let's make our envelope pocket now. Now, that one's going to fold over. That's going to fold up. If I go this way, that one's going to fold over. And yep, that'll have to be this side that I do. So our next piece of an X3 by 6 piece of paper. We're going to score at 1/4 of an inch on each side, so put your short piece up, and we're going to score at 1/4 of an inch on each side. Then we're going to flip it to the long side, and we're going to score at 2 1/4, 2 1/4, and 5 on the long side. So let's just fold those creases over. That one. Fold that one. Fold it back the other way as well. Okay, so now we are going to, I'm going to put a notch in this piece here, just a shallow one in this end. So we've got our 1/4 inch, 2 1/4 inch piece on this end. On the opposite end, I'm going to notch a shallow notch in. And I'm also going to, so that piece flips up there. So I'm going to turn it around the other way, and I'm going to cut our score lines. So these are our score lines from where we've got our little flap all the way up to this one, and then miter off the corners. So I'll just do that now. So I'm just going to cut all the way up. I really don't like doing this because I cannot cut straight to save my life, and then cut a little one off. It's not quite straight there. There we go. And then I'm going to do the same on this side. We're going to cut all the way up. And then I'm just going to miter across. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to fold these pieces in. And I'm going to glue that like so. So we'll just grab our glue. So just on those little fold lines, on those folded flat bits that we just created, just going to add a little bit of glue, flip it up, and just make sure you get it straight onto your onto your other piece of cardstock. Now there's any amount of embellishment that you can do on these. It's totally your choice. I'm not going to embellish these today. I'm purely just going to show you how to create these. In the Couture Creations Earthly Delights collection, there are quite a few embellishments that you could use, but that's totally your choice. I'm just going to round these corners on here. And where is my, what I'm making? I'm just going to round these two corners here as well. Okay. So we've got that in. So you could add a bit of Velcro to yours if you wanted to keep that closed. If you really wanted to, you could, if you had some really small circles, you could make it like a, what do they call those things? A policy envelope would also work well on this. I don't have a small enough hole punch, I don't think, to create one of this size. So all I'm going to do with this is I'm going to have a pocket at the top here as well. So I'm just going to glue this down on 3 sides. Okay, oops, turned that over the wrong way, that'll be fine. And now I'm just going to line it up with the edge. I'm just going to push that down. So I think I'm going to use, I might use this little bit of, this is like a grey sort of a colour on the edge, and that's satin and chiffon. type of ribbon. Just going to grab that one, cut it there. Just going to fold my bit of ribbon in half like so, and I'm just going to cut it from an angle down to the corner. I'll do the same on this end. Cut it at an angle from there to the corner, or not apparently, and that'll just give us some nice little ends for it. Okay, so now we have this. So we could, I've got a little tuck spot here, so we could put a, if we were, a gift card would definitely fit in here. If you're going to give this to somebody as a birthday present, you could put some little notes and things in these to give to them. But we've got a slot here, we've got one up here, got one behind here, and we've got one here. And so you can put quite a bit of ephemera type stuff in here if that's what you wanted to. You could also, if you chose to, create some little book, a little notepad, and attach it to this side. And that way, that if you're going to use this in your journal, and that would give somebody some nice hidden journaling space as well. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with mine. I do want to try and match up some of my holes. I might do it from this one. So what I'm going to do is going to lay my top one, the one that I've already created, on top. I'm just going to grab a pen, and I'm just going to create half a circle on each side from where I've got that one done. I'm then going to grab my hole punch, and I'm just going, I don't know whether you can see it, so I've got these little marks here, and I'm just going to punch right over the top of them. And I know that they'll go right over the top because this was the same punch that I used for that, so I know that it's a perfect fit. There we go, and now I've got nothing in there. Going to grab my ribbon, pull it through that way, grab the other end, pull it through this way. I might just tie this one in a bit of a knot just for something a little different. Okay, so now we have this. Now the other thing that I have done with this one, I've actually made this little piece, like a little material flower, and I've just added a little bit of Velcro on the inside. Now it must be in my drawer. Hang on a minute, I'll just see if I can, yeah, here it is. So I am going to add Velcro to this because I like the fact that it keeps it down. So this is just some self-adhesive Velcro. I'm just going to grab a small strip. It's probably about maybe 1/4 of an inch wide. Yep, I'm going to say that's about 1/4 of an inch wide. I'm going to pull off just one side to start off with. I'm going to line it up where I want it. So I want it right at the base of this flap. And then I'm going to tip it over, and I'm just going to pull the paper off the other side. And then I'm going to push it down. And that piece is not the straightest, so I just might have to, just need to move that a little bit. Yep. So now I have a little flap that will stay closed. I mean, if you wanted to give somebody some money, you can put a little bit of money in this little pocket here. Yeah, there's all sorts of things that you could put into these. But I just thought these were really cute. You could add a photo of your friend in these if that's what you wanted to do, or your family member. There's lots. So that's basically what I've created. Now I do have some of these. I also have some of these that I have made. These is obviously a different colour. I wouldn't use this colour on this in particular one. I would probably go more with what I've done with this one in this green colour because they're very similar. But just remember, if you've got larger scraps, having a little stash of these to go into journals is a great way to use them up. But I could put that on there and that would totally hide that little pocket underneath there. Yeah, so I've made a few of those. There's so much you could put on here. What have I got over here? So I've got these tiny little miniature tags. I can make some tags with them. I could create some other tags with some of my scraps. Have I got some here? No, I don't. I don't even think I've got one in this one that I've made from. Okay, so this was another idea that I used, and I used some scraps from Couture Creations, similar paper. These were just a couple of scraps. So I have got, I'll just take these out so you can see what I've done with this one. All I have done is taken a long strip, so it's double this length, of just a scrap of paper. It was just the Earthly Delights paper that I had some scraps of from something else that I created earlier. And I'm going to make a pocket on either end by just folding over the paper, and then I stitched mine. And then on this side, I grabbed a piece of vellum, and it was the Earthly Delights vellum, as you can see. And I put that around and I stitched it down on this side to create another pocket. And then in the centre, I just glued across the bottom and on this one edge, and I now have a larger pocket in the centre. So I've got enough room to put in this centre pocket a journaling card. On this side, I've just got some faux stamps that I made. I'll put some of those in there. Maybe put a couple of, because you can see a little bit through the vellum, a couple of small tags in that side. Same on this one, throw a couple of stamps in this pocket. And throw a couple of journaling cards on this side. Oh, not journaling cards, sorry, tags on this side. And they can use that in their book. And so for me, because I was doing Junk Journal July, I'm doing Junk Journal July this year, I have just purely taken a 2-inch paper clip. I've made a little dangle to go on it, popped it on the side of my page, and I've just put that on there. So that's directly into my journal. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Don't forget, you can ink these, you can do whatever you want, you can grunge them up, you can make them really pretty. It's entirely up to you, whatever your taste is. And that's probably why I don't want to decorate it too much, because it needs to be done in what style you like. But even just plain, I think they're quite lovely. I mean, you could actually put some stamping up here, maybe put whoever you're going to give it to, maybe put their name on it or something about them on it. Write a little quote inside about them. I don't know, there's lots you can do, but I just really like this idea. I thought it was really lovely, and I want to make some to go into my journal stash. Okay guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. I will see you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.